Hey everyone, it's Shelly Rose May, Art by the Métis Mama. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing part 2 of my studio, which isn't really a studio, it's just a little corner in my basement, but in my other video I didn't really dig in to some of the things in my studio, like some of the storage. I did share a little bit of the doll storage, but I didn't really get into some of the other stuff, and I did reorganize everything since that video, which was only a week ago, so I just wanted to share that. So let's get started. This tea is amazing. It is rooibos. I don't know if I'm saying that right, because I've never really drank that kind of tea before. So, okay. So I reorganized my junk journal stuff, and I just wanted to share how it looks now because it was a complete mess before. So this is all I have in terms of papers for junk journaling. And this is good because this is manageable for me. I don't like it to have too much of anything because then it's overwhelming and stressful. So I can do this. So these are a couple books that will eventually go into junk journals, but for now they're just sitting. I did pick up a little bit of scrapbooking paper at the thrift store last week, so that was a nice score because I didn't have any at all. There is some music sheets, some map paper. There's a few coloring books, sheets left. I do need to get more of that though, because that is one of my favorite things to use in my junk journals. There's a little bit of the wrapping paper that I have left, which is amazing because I had quite a bit. And then this is just all random papers, different things. This stuff right here is all sort of my First Nations, Native American stuff because as a Cree Métis artist, I love incorporating my culture into my work. And then this is just like random stuff. This is all envelopes for pockets and whatnot. This is all my children's book papers that I try to reserve specifically for children's junk journals. That's kind of a new thing that I'm doing now where I'm trying to have a focus on children's junk journals as well because kids do love my artwork, and I'm trying to do more boys stuff as well. So I've tried to mix this up with a balance of male and female energy. This is all like my vintage papers, from book pages to dictionary pages, and so forth. This is a Katie Daisy book that was warped that I got for free. So I took the pages apart, and so I'm saving some for myself, and then the rest will go in junk journals. This is more wrapping paper. But yeah, it's just, like I said, there's not a lot. That's some Christmas papers, coloring book papers. That's an old bag. So again, as you can see, there isn't a lot. There's some photo paper there. Here I organized all my kids' ephemera. So this is all stuff that is going to go into making kids' junk journals. I may swipe some things for adult junk journals, like these cute little mermaids, but a lot of this will go into the kids' junk journals. And then I just did some little paper swatches, I guess, so I can make little matchbooks of papers for each of the kids' journal kits, so little scrap packs, I guess. And these I picked up at the thrift store. They're just empty, so I thought these would be fun for something. Either little junk journal kit holders, or that's probably what they're going to be. I'm probably going to turn these into junk journal kits, and this one as well. This will either be a junk journal kit, or it will be like a traveler's junk journal kit, so it'll have extra supplies in it. So that's what these are going to be. So I thrifted all this stuff. This was actually a gift, but I thrifted these 2 bags and those tins. And yeah. Since my last video, my paint collection has expanded because my husband gave me a bunch of his paint, so that was nice. And I already shared sort of what's down there, but I didn't really get into showing you everything. This is where I keep all my scraps, all my paper scraps, and I do use a lot of it. But I have a new sort of rule of thumb that I have for myself, and it may sound silly for people that like to hoard their paper scraps, but it helps me. And what it is while I'm searching through things, when stuff fall out of the basket, unless it's something I'm really in love with, I let it go and it goes in recycling, because otherwise this basket just gets a lot out of control. So that just sort of helps me keep things manageable, I guess. And so down here is where I keep my Spirit Doll supplies. So I'll share with you what's in here, because I did give you a peek, but I didn't really go through the bin. So in here is, I got little like jingle bells. Those are great for Spirit Dolls. I do have a few crystals, not a lot. I do need to get more of those. I do have some glass bottles. Yeah. In here are my little wooden ladybugs and bees, which are great for Spirit Dolls. I have some of these wooden decorative buttons, but then I also have I got wooden dream catchers and these bunnies. My friend Delmain gifted me one of these. There's seashells and some pine cones, little wooden dragonflies, little wooden buckets. So all kinds of random natural stuff that I can use on my dolls. And then this one here, and these just stack together like so. I love these. When you buy them, you get them in a set of 2. They do stack. What's the problem? There. And I love them. I'm gonna get another set because they just work so perfect for my workshops. So in here I have all of my florals. There's little mushrooms as well. There's some of these flat back rhinestones. I don't know what they're called. I'm just gonna call them that. These like trims. But there's also some of these 2 for centers for some of the flowers, because some of the flowers don't have centers, so I do have some of those as well in here, like that. So yeah, this is all, there's leaves. I need more leaves. There's some bows, but this is mostly all florals, so I'll just put those back. I have a separate, I'll bring it out here, let's see, back here, because I don't want them to get damaged. I have a separate box or bin for my butterfly wings for my workshops and for my doll making. And I definitely need to get more. This is some wasp nesting material that I picked up that's great for mixed media art, but also to incorporate in those little vials for medicine. And there's also some birch bark down in there. You can see it. So this is kind of more like delicate stuff that I put in here. And I do want to get, like I said, one more of these stacking systems here so that I can put these in there. So, and there's some driftwood back there as well, but so that's that. Now I'm going to prop you up on my stand here and get into sharing with you some of this other stuff that I have up here. So actually, hang on. So I did a little quick run through of what's here. I don't have a lot of art supplies, so that's why I didn't really get into what's on this top ledge here. I'm very simplistic compared to a lot of other artists in terms of art supplies. So, but right here I have like my jewelry making pliers, my little punch here for punching things that I need punched. There's a hammer, I have my scissors, my paint brushes, and I made that little can with my artwork on it. There's my crocodile, some ink stamps, my paint pens, my pencil crayons, and some Inktense watercolor pencils, my pencil sharpener. These are all kinds of pens and micro pens. This is what I call my fine liner. I see artists always using those fine liner pens. I don't know what you call them. They're not a pen, but it comes in like a little bottle with a long tube. And I was going to order one and I was like, oh my gosh, those are so expensive. And then I found these whiteout pens at the thrift store. There was 2 in a pack and they're brand new. So this is what I use for doing like squiggles in my art, and they work amazing. They're cheap. So like I said, did I say this already? I'm a frugal artist and simplistic. So yeah, that's like where my pens and pencils go. Over here, I've got whiteout tape. I use that a lot too in my art. I got different kinds of glues, glossy accents, crackle, just different kinds. I have extra pins back here for poking holes in my bottles when they get clogged, my glue sticks, my spray for my watercolor. This is the only watercolor palette I have, and I love it. So I'll just prop you up here so I can show you. It's the only one I have. It's a little bit of a mess, but I don't clean it very well. But I do love it. I've tried other watercolor palettes. I've tried Jane Davenport and other ones. This so far has been my favorite one. And it is the Peter Popper Press Incorporated. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I also have my 2 archival ink pads, which I need to replace because, but I'm too cheap to do it right now. You know, art supplies are not cheap, right? So, and I have to kind of pick and choose what I need to focus on in terms of what I need, because I can't always afford to get everything I want. But this here just stores extra paintbrushes because I do make what I like to call soul artist dolls. I don't have an example to show you because I gave a bunch to my sister, and then I have one for sale here in Rocky. But I use these on the tops of the heads of my soul artist dolls, so I always keep my old supplies. These will eventually become soul artist dolls. And I do have a tutorial on those, so you can scroll through and look at what I mean. I do plan on making an Anna Green Gables junk journal at some point. So I've started collecting Anna Green Gables stuff because it's my favorite movie, and I wanted something to honor her. And I bought these bookmarks from a local artist here in Rocky that makes journals like these. So I bought this from her as well as these. And it's the book intact, but what she does is she adds blank paper to it. So the very first half of the book is the story, and the other half is these papers. So this is my doodle notebook I use to practice my doodles. I don't have a lot in it yet, but I have things that I want to practice drawing. So like I drew this moccasin. Here's one of my Métis girls playing a fiddle. I want to practice eyes, so I saved this transfer test sample from a pattern or something. I forget where I got it from. I want to practice drawing owls and fiddles, so I have these in as guides to practice, but with my own whimsical style, right? Because I don't like things to be too realistic in my art. Okay, so what else do I have in here? I have some of my illustrations, which I did share a video on these, so I'm not going to share them in this video. So if you want to know about, if you want to see these illustrations, you can go to that video. I have my small junk journals in here with stuff that I use to decorate the insides of my journals with. This is my Kelly Ray Roberts planner that I bought simply for the artwork, and I don't know if I'm going to use this or not. I might use it as my new journal because I signed up for a journal making class with a friend of mine, an old teacher of mine, and I need a journal for the class. So I think I might use this one for that class. So it's a class for the whole month of May. I know this is like for 2022, 23, but I don't care because it's going to be used as an art journal. I bought this on Amazon and it was only like $7 because it's old, right? Same with the calendars that I have spread all over my wall there. Because they were old, it didn't cost that much. So I am, depending on what we're doing in the class, I might potentially use this for that class. It's a month long. Did I say that already? This is a junk journal of mine that didn't sell, and I decided to keep because I loved it so much. And I'm going to start journaling in here as well. Then I also have this is my other doodle journal, but this one's more focused on all things extraterrestrial. And so I've started working in here a little bit. I definitely could work in here a little bit more. So some of the pages are already started a little bit and some aren't. I kept all of the illustrations intact as inspiration, especially because they're so beautiful. So yeah, that is my other doodle journal, altered book, I guess. And then what else do I have in here? I have my watercolor paper, my canvas pad. That's a new book that I got from the thrift store to store fodder when I make it. My own personal fodder, which I don't really make fodder, but at some point I'm going to join fodder school and I'm going to make fodder, and this is where it's going to go because like I could put this in there if I wanted, just to keep it safe. So when I'm ready to use it, can I get it in there? Then it's protected. I don't have to worry about it because that's a handmade piece. Same with this one, where these ones are all printables. So I'm not really worried about damaging them at times, right? When I dig through. But these ones, I don't want them to get damaged, so this would be the perfect place to protect them in until they're ready to be used. So that's what that is for. And then this is my large junk journal. This is just a magazine that I got for free at the library that I wanted to go through and look at because it's got some really cool pictures in here, and it's got some information on the art of the Hopi. And I'm really inspired by Hopi art. I love their Kachina dolls. And I know I've had a life as a Hopi person before, because otherwise I wouldn't be so drawn to them. So and I mean, I'm First Nations, like I'm Cree Métis, so I got my Celtic and my Native roots, but I'm drawn to Native culture, right? Because it's part of who I am. So, all right. Then this book here, I save all kinds of cool pictures that I want to keep for my junk journaling I get from old books. So that's all that stuff. And here are just more like the originals for the printables that I sell. But then also, I don't have a lot, but I do have artist trading cards as well. So like there's not too many. I would like to make more of these. So if anybody's interested in doing an artist trading card swap with me, I'd be more than happy to. That's Tandy Art, but I bought some of her stuff and I made a couple of cards out of them. So those ones I'll never part with because I love her art. And until I get more of her stuff anyways. I want to get another one of her surprise art packs at someday. Yeah, so these are all mine, and these are all other artists. So this one's by the Painted Witch. We did an art swap. I did an art swap with her, and these are some other artists. So yeah, that's what's in here. And I think that's about it. I think everything else I showed you. This is where I keep things that I have on the go. Like this is a canvas that I started scribbling on for new junk journals. These are papers that I've started, like painty papers that I've started so I can use in different projects. This is an envelope that I painted up, again, to use for something, don't know what yet. Wooden butterfly wings that I plan on turning into magnets. Yeah, there's not a lot in there, so I think that's about it. I think I showed you guys everything. I kind of moved things around here. I pushed this crate a bit over that way, and I put that stand there that has all my cards that I use for making journal cards with and so forth. This is all my unfinished projects in here. However, this junk journal is complete, so I need to find a home for it. But for now, it's going to sit right there. I think that's it. Oh, the last thing I forgot to show you guys before I let you go is this. This is, I thrifted this from the secondhand store, thrift store, whatever. You know what I mean. And in it had all these unfinished beads. So I didn't get the thing for the beads. I got it. I got it for this container. So this is where I'm keeping all my children's ephemera that I'm going to use to put in my children's themed junk journals and junk journal kits, because I am now going to be making a new product. Well, it's not new, it's just a twist off of the old product. So I make mini junk journal kits. So instead of putting them in cellophane, I decided to put them in these little jars because I thought that would just be so fun. So I already created a label to put on the top of these jars. And I'm going to put the mini junk journal in there, and in it's you're going to get a scrap pack, stickers, little pieces of paper for like ephemera. I organized all my ephemera, and I filled this up as well with all like little pieces along with the other stuff that I showed you back there. That'll all go in my mini kits. Mini pieces of scrap fabrics, charms. So this is like dedicated to children. So I definitely need to get more stuff for it. This is just what I had on hand, and I'm looking forward to filling this with more stuff. I'll probably need a bigger container at some point, but for now it does the job. And that is it. So I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit more detail, what I have behind the scenes, like how I store my stuff and sort of the behind the scenes. And I enjoyed sharing it with you, and I look forward to making more videos for you guys. So please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.